finally did something that you guys were all very excited about, and that is I went out and got my foreskin cup. I'm very excited to be the proud owner of this foreskin cup. Drinks just taste way better out of a foreskin. Oh, sorry, this isn't a foreskin cup. It's a Supergirl cup. My goodness. Supergirl review time. The very first thing that I will say about Supergirl right off the rip is that it's not as bad as a lot of people are saying. I have seen reviews saying that this is like absolute caca, unwatchable, ridiculously horrible superhero movie. It's not. It is definitely not like egregious. I don't even think it's necessarily a bad film. But I do think that there is this tendency when a movie is like right down the pipe, it's like not great, it's not bad, it's just kind of like, all right, that people are way more aggro about it than had it been just bad. Opinions online can be even more inflammatory when a movie is just kind of eh. And I think the other thing is that's kind of compounding with this is, listen, the movie's not great, okay? I will concede that, but it does have a woman at the helm. And it is a very female-centric story, almost to, I think, like a performative point at certain points in the movie. It does kind of feel like a girls get it done story at points, which I didn't love. I think that there is a legitimate thread in this comic and in this movie that you could tug on, and it never seemed to metabolize in the actual execution of the movie. Which was disappointing. But before we get into what's wrong with Supergirl, this is spoiler free. The first thing Supergirl got right that I have to admit I am so fucking impressed by. Oh, yeah, wow. That's and I'm shocked.
The comic is better than the movie.
I'm shocked that I'm so impressed by it. Is the character design. Holy shit. I'm telling you, a lot of the alien character design in this film is incredible. Like the little just aliens that show up in the bars are so well done. Like all of these kind of like little side characters, I watched this in IMAX and they look so fun and like almost reminiscent of like a cantina from Star Wars. You're just kind of on board with living in this alien world, and a lot of the characters just feel so well rendered, including the main man. Lobo looks insane. Lobo looks fucking insane among the cast of glub shittos that is on screen. He just looks great, and I was in a fairly full movie theater. Again, I'm in a populated area, so you might not have the same experience. But I was in a very populated area, and I was at an IMAX screen. And every time Lobo came on the screen, he got a pop. Like people were torqued, and he carried it very well, and really is a high point of the film. What else did they get right? I think that the pacing of this movie feels correct, and the action scenes do feel fun enough to be engaged. And so I think those are the things that the movie did really exceptionally.
Oh yeah, wow.
So
that's very
if
cool.
you want to see some very fun character design, and there are a few very humorous Star Wars-esque moments. Thank you for that, Prime. There are a few moments like that really kind of seem to be like the highlight of Supergirl. With that being said, I've kind of expressed what this movie did great. Let's get into why Supergirl didn't work. First and foremost, let us talk about whatever the fuck Krem is. This is the main villain from the movie, and Gillespie, the director of this film, made a point to not read the comic books before adapting the film because he didn't want to be influenced. And instead of being like this cool hunter from the comics, this like good looking redhead, by the way, more redheaded erasure. I don't know why every Hollywood project in the world feels like they have to remove every redheaded character, but here's another one. So let me show you what Krem looks like in the comics. This is what Krem looks like in the fucking comics. Come on. They did not hit that shit at all. They fully erased. They fully erased him. This is what he looks like in the comics. This is what he looks like in the movie. Comic, movie. And he's just kind of a total non-character, I'll be honest. Kind of like Steppenwolf in the old Superman. This guy just kind of feels like generic villain thrown into film to be villain. He's bizarre in that you never really get a take on his wants, his needs, his character, genuinely anything about him. He just is there, and I think his character design sucks. Like, I don't know if these are like subdermal piercings or something like that. Like, at one point they just come off on Supergirl's face, so I don't know if they're like, I guess like body modification or piece of his skin, or it's just bizarre. It's just a bizarre choice. And he doesn't look cool, in my opinion. He just kind of looks weird. He looks like someone who hangs out in front of a 7-Eleven, and that's kind of like his whole shtick, is that he's just kind of generic villain. So I thought that whenever you don't have a villain in a movie, it destroys kind of like the stakes of the film. And I'll be honest, Supergirl has no stakes at any point. You never think that Krypto's going to die, which no spoilers, that's in the trailer. You never think that Krypto's really going to die. You never really think that anyone is in any like real danger. And I think that kind of takes a lot of the air out of the movie. Also because, I mean, it's fucking Supergirl, and the only opposition they have for her is this fucking idiot who it's never clear if he's strong at all. At one point, someone in the movie says, well, Krem has the strength of 12 men, which it's like, okay, Supergirl has laser eyes, so is this supposed to matter? And the film deals with this in probably the worst way possible, where the sun and the different phases of the sun's interplanetary color spectrum is made mention to probably 12 times in this movie. They'll be like, oh, my powers in this sun, and this is a green sun, and this is a red sun. I can get drunk, but it doesn't hurt me, and this one hurts me, and this one gives me superpowers. And at a certain point, you're like, Jesus Christ, come the fuck off it. How many times are we going to talk about these goddamn suns? But really, it comes up like every plot point is visited. Every plot point in chapter is visited by the color of the sun and its effect on Supergirl, because they have an impossible time trying to balance her power level against the would-be useless villains that are the Krem Company. So that's a huge problem with the movie. Another huge problem with the movie is they have this character named Ruthie, who I guess is like the other female protagonist, and she is just another complete non-character. It's Eve Ridley is like the little girl who plays her, and she's just such a non-character whatsoever. And the biggest problem I have is she has absolutely no chemistry with Millie Adcock whatsoever. Like, Millie Adcock's Supergirl, just, I don't know why she's helping. I don't know what she's trying to teach this little girl at all. There's like this brief message about like, hey, if you kill people, it'll take a piece of you. But Supergirl has no frame of reference on this, nor do they ever make any frame of reference to taking lives as a reason that it would be like haunt you. They briefly touch on that, like Krypton blew up and that Millie Adcock has like trauma from that, but you shouldn't kill people because I don't know, like she has some kind of opposition to this little girl doing violence, and then I'm not kidding you, Millie Adcock probably kills at least 40 people during the run of this film. Like she just kind of indiscriminately mercilessly killing like groups of people.
Cool.
So it's like I don't know what she's trying to teach this little girl. And the biggest problem that was so evident was that Ruthie has entirely more chemistry with Lobo. And it's a huge problem. She has like one scene with Lobo and like immediately clicks with him. And you're like, oh, this makes sense. Cute little girl and disgusting monster who is like encouraging her to be like more brutal against like the confinement that the rest of the world is putting on her, that she should be a cute little girl, which instead Supergirl is like kind of encouraging her to like get back in her box, that she like can't be a warrior and like can't, go fight her battles because of who she is. I don't know. It is a bizarre continuum there. And honestly, Lobo was just infinitely more interesting on camera than was Supergirl. The other thing is, I'll be honest, Millie Adcock is great. Or Millie Alcock, sorry, not Adcock, Alcock. Millie Alcock is great. The problem is the character she is trying to portray is like a party girl alcoholic, and there's a piece of me that's like, Millie Alcock is a great actress, but she has never been degenerately drunk before, and she doesn't really carry that. Like, I think Alcock carries this part of Supergirl way better than like the I'm on a bender type of the character. Isn't she famous for being a drunk degen? I don't know. I just wasn't buying it. I'll be honest, I wasn't buying it. So yeah, I don't know. It was an interesting. Did you not see she was drunk as fuck at the award show? I guess she should be better at acting that way then. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Wow,
I just didn't.
Cool.
I wasn't picking it up. It just wasn't playing. There's kind of like a charming Robert Downey Jr. that you have to have in order to sell that. And I just wasn't picking it up. I wasn't picking it. And that kind of gets me to another point. And I know a lot of people won't agree with this. I'm not a Supergirl fan. I've never been a Supergirl fan. Supergirl is kind of like, hey, do you think Superman's boring? Well, then let's look at his even more boring cousin. I've never been a Supergirl person for a number of reasons. One, I think that Supergirl kind of undermines the entire like Krypton blowing up mythology. It always felt like such a weird retcon that like, oh, Krypton didn't blow up. Only part of it blew up. And this other part went on. And then they had the technology to send her to Earth, but they didn't have the technology to save themselves or get off the planet for like 12 years. I have always been like, ooh, yikes. I don't like that. And I'm sorry, there are so many other characters I would have loved to see get their theatrical run before Supergirl. And that's a problem because one's a fluke, two's a trend. Superman was incredible. And I think going right back to the well with such a similar character instead of covering more ground within the DC universe to build that universe out. And let's say another thing that's real. A lot of people aren't going to like this, especially my DC fans. The Marvel space universe is infinitely better than the DC space stuff. Period. I think that Gunn felt really comfortable with like the space part of their comic universe. No, I'm sorry. I won't be debated on this. I'm a DC guy. And the Marvel space, intergalactic universe is so much better developed than the DC space shit. The DC space shit is just not good, in my opinion. It's okay, but like everything that is truly interesting takes place on Earth except for the Lanterns Corps. I think that the Lanterns Corps is really, really interesting, but it's totally its own fucking universe. The Lanterns Corps is great. And I thought that they were going to use this as an opportunity to introduce some of that. So no spoilers, but I don't want you holding on to hope. Supergirl introduces nothing. Supergirl introduces zero. I'm going to, like you get Lobo, but you know he's there, but you might never see Lobo again. Like, Jason Momoa is not an easy actor to get to just come show up and do cameos. So the likelihood of getting Lobo back in one of these stories, if it's not like a Superman, is I don't know. It's like, okay, I get we got Lobo. That's it. There is not a single other thing introduced from the greater DC universe. And another thing, I'm sorry, it was a great opportunity to get rid of this fucking dog. Crypto is not fun. Crypto is goofy. I'm sorry. Like, I know he's being used to sell toys and get children into the movie theaters, but like, if you want to add stakes, kill Crypto. If you want to add stakes, go full John Wick. Kill Crypto. Do it. Like, all of a sudden, the movie has everybody in it. Everybody in it. They're like, "Urgh." Because Supergirl, that's like the most apparent thing for me is this movie
4.5
didn't
years.
know
New badge.
who
Sweet.
it's for.
Neff Fisto.
Like, I think DC was taking this brave new step into like being like, this is superheroes for adults. And Supergirl felt much more like a children's film with like some adult elements in it. And so ultimately, I would give this movie like a 7.1. 7.1 out of, 10. It's not great. It's not even one that you'd be like, oh, you should go see this. But at no point are you like, is this a bad film? That's the problem. Is like, I think the greatest sin of this movie is not the way it's filmed. It's not the way it's edited. It's not the special effects. It's not the acting portrayals. It's truly just the script. The script was just not there, which is like,
I hate to be the 8 but the book guy, but if they stuck with the book or word for word, it would have been a 9.
Maybe. I don't know. I've never read Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I ultimately felt like the script of this was not good. I felt like the script was just not good. It was not there. And maybe I'll go and turn around and read Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow now. But ultimately, I think it's made me very excited for the upcoming stuff. Because I don't know why they felt they had to go back to the well on super characters. Like, I don't know why they were like, we got to do Superman and Supergirl off rip. But that to me is not it. Cash grab, but that can't be it. That can't, I'm sorry. I don't mean this to come off any other way than it's going to come off. But ultimately, if there is any kind of market evidence, female superheroes are not the characters you use to do a cash grab. Period. Like, I would have loved to see a Zatanna. I would have loved to see a Hawk Girl. I would have loved to see any of the female DC characters I love at the helm of a DC film. But ultimately, like, they had to have had a want to make a Supergirl film. And there is a rumor that they were worried that when Warner Brothers was going to be acquired, that whoever new big boss was going to have the exact same attitude that I am conveying and basically kill the female-led project. And so Gunn and Company was like, we have to get Supergirl out because we have the script done. We have an actress we really like to play Supergirl. We have to get this out before it is killed. I have heard that. I have read that, which would explain kind of why this feels like a little pushed out. But I don't know. I'm very excited for what is next. I think Lanterns, if they do a good job developing that universe, will be so awesome. I think Clayface could be so awesome. There was Rush CG too.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
wow,
potentially, I
You
guess.
have heard of the Jackson 5.
Yeah.
You may have even heard of the Fabulous 5. But did you hear about the Nixon 5? Nixon 5. Nixon 5.
That is way late, but I love it. Her CG tears were so bad. Yeah, I guess I was so impressed by the creatures, the aliens in this movie that the CG did not offend me at all. Like, I just have to be honest. Supergirl looked great compared to a lot of superhero projects I have seen. Like, at no point watching Supergirl was I like, this looks like shit. I thought that Supergirl was noticeably a step above a lot of superhero projects. Final thought on this is it was disappointing. It was not a movie that I think is unmissable. And ultimately it felt, it felt poorly
4 months of
timed
not being broke.
in the DCU in terms of like, man, there were so many other characters and things they could have gone with here. Are you still excited for Clayface? I'm absolutely fucking pumped for Clayface. And I'm absolutely pumped for Lanterns. People are kind of split on Lanterns. I have never lost faith in Lanterns. Because I'll be honest, I fucking love Green Lantern. I fucking love Green Lantern. Green Lantern is awesome. And I've been pissed since the first Green Lantern movie because everybody just fucking was like, Green Lantern sucks. And it was like, no, this was just a dog-ass movie.